Alright, so today I wanted to just kind of show the binder I've been working on. I know in a previous video I had like a smaller blue binder, but all of that has been pulled out and basically converted to this binder where I've kind of consolidated most of my rares from Netrunner, minus the stuff that I have in decks, and then I think in my bulk I still have a couple rares I need to kind of suss out, but I think this should be the majority of my rares. Now in here you'll find it's mostly rares, but there are also a couple uncommons or even common cards. The uncommons that are in here should be like signed cards. I got a collection that had some signed cards, so they wound up in this binder. And then also, if they're like a common or uncommon card, but they came in the Netrunner Classic set. I'm kind of counting any card from Netrunner Classic or version 2.2 as a rare, just because of how rare that set was. So you might see some cards from Classic in here as well. But they'll just do a quick little run through of the binder and kind of me talking about the stuff, the cards, specific cards that I like. So yeah, started with the Corporation, and then we'll go into the runner. Security Purge, love that card. I love that art a lot. I tend to like clump arts, art that I like together, the arts that I like more, or like clumped more together in the binder. Bioweapons Engineering, awesome. It's like there's certain cards that are like, oh, it's like quintessential like Netrunner look. Bioweapons Engineering is one of them. That purple hazy. World Domination. Yeah, you can see we're into agendas here. Lots of agendas. Like this is a common card. This Data Fort remapping, but it is from that 2.2, the Classic. So it's in here because it's the only one I have. And then we've got just a lot more agendas. I swear this New Blood card, it's a rare operation, and it lets you like secretly rearrange your ice, conceal it. It's kind of tech against if the runner is exposing your ice and you don't want them to know. I don't think it's a very great card, just because eventually all your ice is going to be rezzed, and your runner's going to be able to. It can be good, I guess, especially against kind of a beginning player, or like who is really reliant on exposing your ice and really wants to know where your ice is at, but I don't know, it hasn't been that good for me. Black Ice Quality Assurance is awesome, which gives all your black ice +2 strength. Really cool. Please don't choke anyone. I think it's actually a good agenda. Yeah, so you can basically negate doing damage to the runner to put a counter on it, and you can spend that counter to gain an action. But you can only do it once per turn, so you can use it in like a fast advance kind of strategy. Got some signed cards over here. I think all of the signed stuff is by Randy Gallegos. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. So yeah, some signed cards there. That's really fun. And then I always really like this encoder incorporated art. I love the way that looks. It's this like data center, but like, I don't know, it's like thermal vision or something. I don't know. It's like, it looks like a front lawn, but it's all red. I don't know. It's just, again, got that kind of, in my mind, that quintessential Netrunner art style. I Got a Rock is hilarious. You can spend an action and you forfeit 3 agenda points, but you do 15 meat damage to the runner. Use this ability only if the runner has 2 or more tags. So yeah, that's like your, really heavy-handed tagging bag. It's like if they're tagged and you can forfeit 3, they have to be tagged twice, but it's pretty hard to negate 15 meat damage. Bloodcat, Tree 6 gives runner tag. That's a cool one. I really like Data Masons. I always love the idea of just like improving your ice. I know it's not like the best strategy, but yeah, this Data Masons, and I like the art on it a lot. This is one I was really happy to get, Pacifica Regional AI. I just really like the, it's like this, like AI, like this disembodied like woman's face on there, but it reminds me of the Cyberpunk 2020 art, like from the tabletop role-playing game for Alt Cunningham. And in the lore, I believe she ends up becoming this AI construct. So in my headcanon, that card represents Alt Cunningham. So I think that's pretty cool. Bunch more nodes and Department of Misinformation. I really like that. I don't know why I like that art, but it always it's one of those that calls out to me. Super cool. But it's not great. It's that kind of tech against exposing. You can spend bits to prevent cards from being exposed. It's probably a little better than Bloodcat just because it reses for 0, trashes for 4. And you can surprise the runner with it. You can use it over and over. You're spending bits to use it, but it's like that. I don't know. I would probably put, if I was going to tech against exposing, I would probably put that card in. Sorry, I'm just kind of skipping around here. Just kind of to show the binder. We're over into upgrades. Roving Submarine was always one that I wanted, and I was happy I finally got. I think it functions kind of like, I'm totally blanking on the FFG one. It's like, makes your node, make it so that you can't attack like a remote server or a subsidiary data fort. Install only inside a subsidiary data fort. This fort may be run only if you installed or advanced a card inside of this fort during your last turn. So pretty cool because you can put an agenda in there and then it cannot be touched by the runner until you decide to start advancing it. So yeah, it can be a really cool way to like protect an agenda. So like, if you have agenda flood, you put that server down, or that upgrade down, you res it, and then you can put your agenda in there and just basically leave it there until you're ready to start advancing it after you've stepped the server or whatever. So that can be a pretty good card. I'm happy I have 4 of them. Some more signed cards by Randy Gallegos. I always wanted Lisa Blight, so I'm happy I finally got one of those. Spend a bit to discard a card at random, so that part sucks. But you can repeat one subroutine on a piece of ice on this fort until the end of the run. Treat the copy of the subroutine as if it appeared immediately after the original subroutine. Use this ability only during a run. So it kind of reminds me, I'm forgetting the exact functionality of Marcus Batty, but I feel like that's how Marcus Batty worked, or maybe Marcus Batty trashed himself, but the idea of being able to, on the fly, repeat a subroutine that the runner wasn't expecting. In most circumstances, the runner's probably got some extra cash on hand to be able to deal with that problem, but if you time that just right, that can be pretty devastating, or at the very least lock them out of a server that they were counting on getting into. So that's pretty cool. We're into the ice here. I just love the way ice looks in original Netrunner. Just the way that they did the art and just the whole thing. I love Iceberg. Tutor's a cool one. I really like the ice. This was Vortex. I haven't had a chance to play with yet, but I want to. It's a code gate deflector. So it's got one subroutine with a lot of text. If you pay 2 bits, runner is now encountering the outermost piece of resed ice on a data fort of your choice instead of passing Vortex. The run is now considered to be run on that data, so you just bounce them, just like typical deflector ice. So not very strong, but it is free to res. Puzzle, I think that's also like a common or uncommon, but it is in that 2.2 set, so I think I have one in a deck, but Puzzle, I really like Puzzle a lot. Strength 5 for res 2, so that's already pretty good. 2 subroutines, end the run and trash puzzle at the end of the turn, end the run and trash puzzle. So it's just that early kind of, lock them out. Like it's, you can create a scoring window, but then it trashes itself. But I think it's a pretty cool design. Fatal Attractor. I wish I had more of those. Res is for 1, strength 4. Once every 2 next time a runner encounters a piece of ice during the run, do 3 damage unless the runner breaks all the subroutines. So that really is very similar to Chum. And Chum was never, Chum in Fantasy Flight core set, Netrunner. Chum was never really that good, but I always liked it. I don't know. It's fun when you can get to work. It can be good in the right situation. Laser Wire, probably one of my favorite ice in original Netrunner. Sorry, it's like not focusing very well. Laser Wire is really cool. And then here's the programs. I'm going to kind of speed things up here a little bit. Records Reconstructor. Yeah, that's not a good card. I don't think so. If you can think of how to make Records Reconstructor good, for an action you make your own archives. If it's successful, you don't access cards from archives, but instead you shuffle face-up pile of archives and then put the top 2 cards from that pile on R&D. So they're like giving them back cards that they've, I don't like to give the corporation cards back. I love this Microtech Trode set. Another that like really just quintessential original Netrunner art, and there is a signed one too, if you can see it over there. So that's pretty psyched about that. Some more programs. Again, this is a common. I love Sandbox Dig. I actually want to go to, I think Mark Taden is still going to Magic conventions, and I'd really like to get Sandbox Dig signed because it's like one of my favorite arts from this original Netrunner. I wouldn't mind a playmat of that. Not that it exists, but yeah, really, really cool. Just it's like this, avatar combing through these translucent glowing red digital files. I just think it's cool. Super thrilled I got a bargain with Viacox. Yeah, and a Top Runners Conference. We'll love more of both of those cards. It's awesome. Some more signed cards, some Shell Traders. The Playful AI, that one's fun. It's like the whole, I think that's Richard Garfield's like face on there. That's cool. Organ Donor's cool. Blackmail, 12 bits, make your own HQ successful. You don't access cards, you just get an agenda point. So that's awesome. You can just do a runner build and try to win that way. It's way expensive though. I got freaking 7 MIT West tier. If you watch this and you need an MIT West tier, or you just want to trade or whatever, feel free to comment or message me. I'm always down to trade around cards. And that's the last page. Sorry, the lighting and the glare of the binder sheets is a little bit not the greatest in this video, but yeah, kind of a quick video. Just went through it. I'll probably have to rearrange this binder at some point, but I just really wanted to consolidate my collection of Netrunner rares and then, kind of show what it looks like. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything like that.